Wordsville Wisdom by Donnis Hamilton. In the quiet town of Wordsville, there stood an old, grand library that was said to hold the secrets to mastering any text. The library's caretaker, Miss Lexa, was known far and wide for her wisdom and her unique approach to reading. But these secrets were not kept hidden. Instead, Miss Lexa shared them with all who sought to improve their reading skills. One day, 4 curious students, Mia, Leo, Ava, and Max, came to her for guidance, hoping to unlock the full potential of the written word. Miss Lexa greeted them warmly and said, "You've come at the right time. I will teach you 4 powerful strategies that, when used together, can make any text yield its secrets. But remember, the order matters, and each strategy has its own purpose." Miss Lexa began. The first strategy is simple but crucial: reading and rereading. When you approach a new text, don't rush. The first read is just to get familiar with the landscape, like walking through a new forest for the first time. You might miss some details, but that's okay. Just focus on understanding the general idea of what the text is about. Leo, always eager, asked, "Why do we need to read it again, though?" Miss Lexa smiled. "Good question, Leo. The first read is like skimming the surface of a lake. But the second read, now that's when you dive deeper. During the second pass, you start to notice things you missed before. The hidden claims, the subtle evidence, and the deeper meanings the author weaves in. This is where the real understanding begins. Once you've done your first read and then your reread, it's time to engage actively with the text through marking," Miss Lexa continued. "Marking the text means taking ownership of it. You'll number the paragraphs, circle key terms, and underline important information." Ava, who loved organizing things, was intrigued. "Why do we do that?" Miss Lexa explained. "Numbering the paragraphs helps you keep track of the text structure, making it easier to refer back to specific parts during discussions. Circling key terms focuses your attention on the most important concepts. These could be vocabulary words, names, or other critical details. Underlining, on the other hand, is about honing in on the purpose of the text. What is the author really trying to say? What evidence supports their claims? By marking these elements, you prepare yourself for a deeper understanding and easier recall later." Max, who loved doodling and jotting down ideas, perked up when Miss Lexa mentioned the next strategy. "Now comes one of my favorite parts, writing in the margins," she said. "As you read, you can jot down your thoughts, questions, and connections in the margins of the text." "How does that help?" Mia wondered. "Writing in the margins transforms you from a passive reader into an active one," Miss Lexa replied. "Imagine you're having a conversation with the text. Visualize what's happening. Summarize key points, ask questions, and connect the text to things you already know. It's like leaving breadcrumbs for yourself, making it easier to find your way back to important ideas later on. It's also a way to engage with the text on a personal level, making the reading experience richer and more memorable." And finally, Miss Lexa said, "We come to summarizing the text. After you've read, reread, marked, and written in the margins, it's time to distill everything down to its essence." "But how do we do that?" Max asked. "Summarizing is about clarity and focus," Miss Lexa explained. "It's where you take all the information you've gathered and condense it into a brief, clear statement. You might summarize a paragraph, a section, or even the entire text, depending on what's needed. Sometimes it helps to put constraints on your summary, like limiting it to 20 words or 140 characters. This forces you to really think about what's most important and how to express it concisely. Miss Lexa looked at the 4 students who were now brimming with excitement. Remember, she said, these strategies are tools, and like any tools, they become more effective with practice. Start with a clean read, dive deeper with the second read, mark the key points, engage with the text through notes, and finally, summarize to cement your understanding. Each step builds on the one before, guiding you toward mastery of any text. With these strategies in hand, Mia, Leo, Ava, and Max left the library, eager to put them into practice. They knew that with Miss Lexa's wisdom, they could approach any text with confidence, ready to unlock its secrets and discover the knowledge within.